G'day guys. A friend recently gave me their smartwatch since they said it was a piece of junk. They don't remember exactly how much they paid, but I was able to find this exact model on eBay for $18 Australian delivered, or the same device in a slightly different shape for only $12 Australian delivered. This isn't your standard smartwatch, which just connects over Bluetooth and sends notifications. This one actually can take a SIM card. We'll start off by taking it out the box. Taking off the lid, we're immediately greeted with the smartwatch itself. Unfortunately, this never came with a manual, but they said it did come with a charging cable, which they have lost. The device itself is pretty plain. You've got the screen on the front. On the left-hand side is the charging port. This is micro USB, however, there is a bit of a twist. It is heavily recessed, so a standard micro USB cable won't actually reach. So you will need to find one of these really long ones. Luckily, I did already have one of these from a different device, but I'm not too sure where I actually got it from. Just for comparison, your standard micro USB cable is on the left, and this extra long one is on the right. You can see it's almost twice the length. On the right hand side, we have our single power button and what looks to be a microphone. Turning it over, we can take the back of it off. It just does unclip, revealing the battery. We can take the battery out. We can see there's a spot for a microSD card, but also a SIM card. This is a 2G watch, and 2G has been shut down in Australia for a very, very long time now, so we won't bother putting a SIM card in since it won't find any cell towers anyway. I will, however, put a microSD card, which I have prepared a few test files on. We'll slide that in. It does just slide in, there's no clips. And then we'll put this very, very small, very, very cute battery in. It's not bloated, and it claims to be 380 milliamp hour. We'll just slide it back in and put the back on. For the rest of the video, I will keep it in its box to help stabilize it while we have a play with it. Power it on, just hold down the power button. Hopefully we get something on the screen. There we go. It turns on straight away. This does have Bluetooth. It does say connecting, but I don't actually have any Bluetooth devices turned on. There we go, it says connection failed. I'm guessing it was searching for the last owner's phone. So the power button doesn't do too much. It just turns it on and off and locks the screen, but it is a touchscreen device. So swiping down from the top brings us into messages. We don't want that. And we're on the menu now. As you can see, it does have a dialer, although we don't have a SIM card, so we can actually use it. It also has messaging, so you can SMS from this device. Call logs, phone book. It has anti-lost, which I'm guessing just pings your phone it's paired to. Bluetooth. I'll turn that off, just to save power. Visibility, off. There we go. Settings, remote. This might be selfie camera. Oh no, it's remote notifications. Settings. We've got phone settings. Time and date, language, display. We'll leave it as English. Display. See what that does. Oh, there's a wallpaper. We'll just leave it as the stock one for now. Flight mode. We will turn flight mode on. Since we don't have a SIM card, it will drain the battery really, really fast while it continuously tries to ping a tower. So we'll turn flight mode on. And what's under miss? Just the backlight. We've also got restore settings, which I guess just factory resets it. Sedentary reminder. So if you're sitting down too long, it'll bing. Calendar. It thinks it's January 1st, 2018. So I guess that's when it was made. You swipe from the left to close it. Quick R, that just looks like a QR code. I'm guessing it's to the app download for your phone. Pedometer, it's also got a timer. We'll see if we can shake it. It was a bit of a delay, but we did get 7 steps. We can swipe to the right and it has the statistics. It's worth noting this pedometer is incredibly inaccurate, and if you walk the same path every time, you'll always get a different result. So not really useful. Profiles. Guessing that's just like profiles on a regular phone. It is, so general, silent, meeting. So you can change the options if it vibrates or rings. Sleep monitor. Again, I don't think this would be very accurate. An alarm, a file manager, which we will come back to. Image viewer, calculator. Calculator's pretty cool, very, very small. Very small, but it does work. Equals. A local audio player, so you can play MP3s. Again, in my testing, this drains the battery extremely fast. You get about 10 or 20 minutes of music playback before it's completely flat, so not really practical. Sound recorder, just record sounds, nothing fancy there. Power, also power saver on and off. That just changes the brightness it looks like. A theme, there's only one. Motion, it looks like it's to configure if you can lift your wrist to answer an incoming phone call. Facebook, which won't work because we don't have internet. There's no Wi-Fi on this. Yeah, download failed. Web browser, which we will visit a bit later. Twitter and WhatsApp. So we'll go back to file browser, memory card, and it does detect our SD card, which is good. Unless this is the built-in flash. We'll take a look at photos. Nah, this is the SD card. It doesn't like that photo. We'll take a look at image viewer and see if we can load the test photos. So I've got a photo I took just of the mower. This photo was taken on a different device. This doesn't have a camera, so that works. Our second test photo, just a JPEG, doesn't work. That was 640 by 480. And the third test photo is 320 by 240 JPEG, and that actually works. It's nice and clear, nice and bright. So it's got a decent screen on it. We'll try audio player. I'll see if I can get to the menu. There we go, local list, options, settings, pretty limited settings. I'm just trying to browse for music. We don't want Bluetooth music. So unfortunately, there is no file browser built into this music player. I think instead we'll close out of this, go back to File Manager, and we'll try play music separately from there. We'll go down to test files, and there should be some music in here. There we go. So it is playing. It's fairly quiet. These are just standard MP3s from the free YouTube audio library. The sound quality is very bad, very crackly, bit muffled. So it does do MP3. I do have a movies folder. We'll see if any of these play. Got Blade Runner. These are just low quality AVIs. Unfortunately, it won't even let us open it. Go to video. I do have lots of music videos in here. Again, all low quality AVIs, but doesn't look like any of them will actually load. So this can't play any sort of video, unfortunately. Now, browser. Click OK. Again, we don't have a SIM card, but I did create some offline files to test. Download failed, that's fine. Unfortunately, we can't even open the browser. I may have to turn flight mode off, so we'll do that now. It already is in normal mode. It wasn't even in flight mode. I'll close out of all of this. We'll go back to our file manager. We'll see if we can load my offline site through file manager. Just under browser, snapshot, go Google. But again, won't let us open it. That is disappointing. On other dumb phones, even without a SIM card, it does still let you use the browser offline if you have web pages saved. But unfortunately on this, it just doesn't work at all. I did also copy a text file ebook, so we'll see if we can load that. It is really hard to navigate. Text files, should be the first one. Yep, so you can't even open text files on this. Obviously, none of these app files will install. I think next I'll grab my phone and we'll try pair it to this watch without downloading the shady app, and we'll see if you get any functionality without the app installed. So I've just got my daily driver Motorola here, and before I turn Bluetooth on my phone, I'll make sure it's enabled on here. So Bluetooth, and it was on. Switching back on, there we go. Visibility on. Now I'll turn Bluetooth on. Pair a new device. I believe it is called the Y1. We compare to it. No, that didn't work. We'll go search new device, Motorola Edge. Maybe I have to connect from the watch instead. So it looks like it's connected. Connection failed. We'll go back. Connection preferences, Bluetooth, make sure it's allowed. Pair new device again, see if I can connect to it. It may be failing because I'm trying to search at the same time, but that shouldn't matter. Failed, I'll search a new device. There we go. I do want to pair, and it's connected. It does want to access my contacts and call log. That's fine, I'll allow that. Now it does say it's connected. So now we're connected, I'll go anti-lost. See if it finds it. Can't find the phone. Status on, save. You may need the app for this. And no good. Remote. We do need the app for remote shutter. I'll go dialer, contacts. And I can view contacts from my phone. You can see here I've got mum's number in. I'll see if it calls. I'll go call. It is ringing. Now it did work. It wasn't very loud and she couldn't hear me very well. But you can make phone calls from your watch paired to your phone without an app. So that's not too bad. The BT lost alert we just saw was very loud, and it happened when it lost connection to my phone over Bluetooth. So if you do walk away from your phone, leave it somewhere, your watch will tell you. But Bluetooth does usually stay connected for 10 or more meters, and in that time, someone could have already swiped your phone. Overall, I would not recommend getting one of these smartwatches, which can take a SIM, at least not the cheap ones, since it does rely on 2G, and it is shut down in Australia, and most countries around the world. It is pretty much useless. The battery does only last around 8 hours from a full charge on standby, with Bluetooth off and flight mode enabled. So you don't even get a full day with standby. With it connected, it greatly drops it down to about an hour or two. And as mentioned, if you try to play music on this, you only get about 10 or 20 minutes. It's a neat little gimmick, and it's pretty impressive how they managed to shrink down pretty much an entire dumb phone to fit on your wrist without being too bulky. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.